What's going on, everybody? It's Jordan again with another NR2003 video. This time we're at Eldora with the HOBO Racing Series. I won last week in my number 8 modified car at NR2003. It's a fictional 1-mile track. So due to that, I was not eligible to qualify, so I would start from the rear. Just a rule they have there at HOBO to try to increase parity. So I had to start pretty much dead last in this 110 lap race at Eldora. Dirt, one of the things I consider to be my specialty on NR2003. For whatever reason, I just seem to have a knack for it. You'll see some weird blinking in and out of vehicles when they're all packed up like that. Something in my graphic settings and the number of cars that I can see on track at a time is set lower than what it should have been. So that's my fault on that. Didn't present too big of an issue for me in the race, but I'm sure it probably looks strange to people viewing at home. So trying to make our way through the field here. There's about 20 or so cars. I felt pretty good about the race. I was running top 5 lap times in practice, and I actually finished with either first or second fastest time in practice. So I felt pretty good going in if I could just work my way through the field. So see me being pretty easy. Just trying to pick my way by everybody. And we've got our first caution of the day. I think the 41 might have got into it with somebody. So we'll come around and get the caution here. And we'll move on to the next restart. Most of these are single car spins, so nothing really to watch, just people going around. It's somewhat hard to control the car on dirt sometimes. But you can see we already moved our way up to 6th place. A couple people chose to come into the pits there. The pit strategy was a little bit strange for this because you couldn't make it on fuel. So you would have to pit at least once, and the tires don't wear on dirt. And in our 2003, the fuel does go away pretty quickly. The car is wound up at a high level of RPMs. So the fuel was just jumping around from anywhere from 60 laps down to 40 laps, depending on how many RPM you were putting into it. And then you'd have a caution, and then it would change it again. So another caution you saw there. We'll restart. We moved up another spot, so now we're at the 5th. So I'm feeling pretty good about it at this point. Just trying to get to the point where I can come in, get enough gas to make it to the end, and then try to work my way, I guess, back through the field. So had a lift there for the 21. Got a little bit tight. I think he might have gotten loose above me. Didn't want to spin him, so I just let out of the throttle. So there I go to the inside of the 21. Eldora is kind of a tough track to pass out on this game. It's not like it is in real life where you got to run up against the wall, or you really don't even have a middle lane if you want to be really fast. So you just got to pin it down on the bottom, be really precise. If you do clip the apron, it will send you up the track or spin it, so you got to be careful. But you also try to get down there as close as you can to that apron to maximize your lap time. See the 450 there, that's actually a generic car. I believe that's the number 32 car. I just didn't have his scheme. So you can see from the helicopter view here, he does clip the apron. You see he just shoots him up the track, and I had to almost get out of the throttle all the way. You'll see he kind of does a similar thing down here. You can see him wiggling around. I'll gain a lot on exit because of that. See him wiggle again. I'm trying to work my way around the outside and trying to give everybody enough space here so we don't get into an accident too early on here. 57 is up there, he's the leader. He's pulled away just a bit. And the 31, who is one of the guys who was really close to me during practice, is just up ahead. So that's a good sign that we're able to keep him within striking distance. Another caution come out here, and that's for the 37 car. He just went around by himself right there. So he'll turn it around and we'll go on to the next restart. So we're up to 4th, coming all the way from the back. Still haven't had to pit to this point. It's a great restart here. We'll sweep it around the outside. Still there on my inside. I think he might lift going into 3 here. Either that or covering off. So I'm able to hold it pretty much wide open here at Eldora. You can play with the throttle a little bit, but for the most part you're going to want to be wide open. So big slide for me there. Shut the door on him. Get that move done. So now I'm up in the 3rd. 31 and 57 up in front of me, and it opened up a little bit of a gap, so I've got to try to be aggressive here with my line and try to run him down. Don't want him to get too far away in case you do have a green flag run. Everyone does have to pit, but you just don't want to be miles and miles behind when that happens, because these dirt track pit roads are treacherous. We're having a pretty good run here. Switch out so you can see a little bit more of the track. I'm trying to really arc the corner, maintain the gap. Now that I've got to a distance that I'm comfortable with. The biggest thing for me at these dirt tracks, I try to keep the wheel straight as I exit the corner. And we've got another caution here, as you see everybody slowing up. But I try to keep the wheel straight as I possibly can as I get to the center of the corner and off. To try to gain as much as I can on the exit of the corner. And then you just have, like I said earlier, you have to be so precise with your line because you can't really hit the apron or it's going to spin you. But you can't get too high up the track because it's a longer way around, and when everybody's pretty much full throttle, the shortest way around wins. So I get a good restart again here. I was really good on restarts. I was able to get inside the 31 car. Gave me plenty of room there. Very nice of him to do so. He didn't have to do that. You'll see me working the wheel there. That's pretty cool about these modifieds. You can really see the wheel input. You see me there on exit. Once I get to the center of the corner, I really just try to keep the wheel straight. I don't lock them out to the right or anything. So now we're all over the back of the 57 car, trying to run him down and get by him. If we can get out to the lead in clean air and I can run the line on one, I feel like I can break away. I'm trying to arc that corner. He gets a little bit of the apron and does a great job to save it there. Now he's up the track. I go inside. Don't want to clip the apron, so I'll back out of it. And I'll fall back in line. Trying to keep the pressure on right here. Really get the back end out. Dangerously close to the apron. He's really loose off the corner. And then I think he just overdrove the entry a little bit there. He clips the apron and then there he goes. He spun around. I think that was probably to his credit that he spun there, because it ends up sending him to the back of the field. And from this point, it was kind of iffy on my fuel projection if I could make it, but for him, it kind of allowed him to go ahead and make that pit stop. So I was banking on another caution, so it stayed out, restarted out in front of everybody, and this is what I've been waiting for, just getting some clean air, being able to run the line I wanted to run. This is off the back of my car, and you'll see over just a few laps here, I'm able to kind of scoot away from the field, and they start to fade away as they battle a little bit. You can hear just how hard I'm on the throttle, pretty much wide open, just a little bit of play with it on corner entry and right in the center of the corner. As I arc it in there, try to hold that apron, but I'm pretty much in the gas the whole time. Now the field has pretty much exited the camera view. Put quite a bit of time on them, probably about a second and a half, a second, just a few laps here. And we'll take the caution flag. So that was a good short run there, and that actually worked out to my benefit, I thought at the time, because I was now able to come to pit lane, put fuel in it, and you'll see my crew, no tires, just fuel here, that's all we needed. Cycle through some of the cameras here, I'll go back on board. So waiting them to fill it up. So now I've got enough to make it to the end. Coming off pit road, and you see there I'm gonna come off pit lane second of the cars who came down. 188 out in front of me. And that's probably gonna prove to be my demise in this one. So you see here, pretty good on the restart. Not allowed to pass before turn 1 to the inside, so 14 just got stuck in the fence down there. I think he just clipped the apron and just sucked him into the wall. So they're easily by the 37, 44, they kind of let us go. There's the 57 up there ahead of the 188 and the 99. Here I'm to the inside of the 188, drives it in deep, kind of covers off the bottom, doesn't give me a whole lot of room to get by, so I back out of it, go to the outside of him. We're going to work together to get by the 99 here, and 57's starting to get away from me a little bit. I know he's probably the one car other than the 31 that I really need to race against here, because we were the fastest cars prior to us having pit. So around the 88, looks like he's a little bit loose. He's holding that bottom line. And this is really hard to pass on the outside here, because the shortest way around is the fastest way around when you're pretty much full throttle. So we'll go slow-mo here. You see him, he gets the apron. I thought he was going to back out of it, and that was pretty much my day right here. Top 10 saddest anime deaths. Gets loose. He stayed in the throttle. I might could have went up another lane to give him a little bit more space, but I didn't really anticipate that mistake happening. Hits me in the left front, and that's pretty much it for me. That was on lap 70 of 110. And you see there, car smoking, heavy damage to the front end. And then I got hit again after I came off the wall. There's nothing I could do. I was just along for the ride when he hit me in the left front. So here's where my day goes from bad to worse. I roll around, I go into the pits, and these dirt track pit roads are treacherous. So when I pull in, they won't change my tires or anything. So I gotta back up, and when I back up, they tell me I didn't enter. They tell me then that I entered a closed pit, so that gave me a pass-through penalty. When I backed up, it also said that I entered the pits unsafely, because when I backed up, my right rear hit where the cone is on the racetrack there. So that said I didn't enter the pit safely, so that gave me a black flag. They don't clear black flags that I'm aware of here in HOBO. So I've got to serve a pass-through, pass-through, but instead of just having to serve a pass-through, I've now got to serve a 15-second penalty once we go back green. So my crew did repair the car. I wasn't quite sure how many people had retired from the race. So I'm going to restart in, I think, the 14th here of the cars that are left out here running. And you can just tell it's not even close to the same how it was. You can just hear the difference in the engine. So here I come for my 15-second penalty. I come down, I stop to make sure that they're not going to change my tires, because that's a waste of time. I stop, and they tell me I'm too far to the right, even though I'm clearly right in front of my pit sign, and this pit road is making me angry. So now I'm going to go from being a lap down with a broken car to, after this penalty, I'm going to be about 5 laps down with a broken car. The next car ahead of me is going to be, I think, 2 or 3 laps down, so there's little to no chance I'm catching them. There's only about 15 to 20 laps to go. And we'll come off pit row. I really wanted to at least finish the race, just to see if anybody would retire or something. You never know with these dirt tracks. Go out and back on the track. I'm going to run the high line just to stay out of everyone's way. And play the 30. There's the leader, the 31. He just went by me to the inside, made sure I gave him plenty of space. I think he pitted on that same caution that the 57 did. He may have pitted earlier. I may be incorrect in saying that. The 41, he's in second. He's right there. And there's the 57. So that's the car I was pretty much directly behind. He was one car ahead of me with the 188 splitting us. So he's up to third now. The 59, I think, is in fourth. 188 running in the top 5. 21 is in 6th. And we can just continue on down the order here. So I slot in here for just a second, see if I can keep pace with anybody. Quickly see that that's not going to happen. So there's the 32. He's having a nice run as well. He's back up to 7th. 44 going to go by us. He was the 8th place running car. And you remember in that previous caution, he was one of the guys who just let us go on the restart. So that conservative strategy has paid off for him to a degree here, since he's up inside the top 10. And I'm actually able to maintain here for a few laps, just riding around. I'm able to hold it wide open now because I don't have the power. But it's really hurting me down the short straightaways here, and on corner entry I'm not able to get the same power down through the corners. It's a little bit harder to exit the corner because I don't have the same torque, so it's made the car really, really tight. That's why I got in the wall. So we're basically just riding around out here in 14th, just kind of praying for a caution at this point. And even though you don't really wish bad on anyone, the only way we were going to move up is someone retired from the race or got in an accident where they couldn't continue. So it's kind of what we were just banking on and hoping for here. Get a few points out of the night. I feel like I did a pretty good job of keeping my composure and just keep on keeping on after I got sent into the wall there. I know I probably could have done a little bit more to avoid that, and it's part of racing. Sometimes it just happens and you get caught up and stuff. So, but it is somewhat frustrating when you had a fast car and you know you could have done a lot better than what you're going to get credit for. So I felt like I did a pretty good job keeping my composure and keeping on racing, even though my chances at doing really well were pretty much done. So the closest car to us there in the standings, I believe, is the 6th car. We'll see. You'll see as we're actually catching him. I think he's kind of doing the same thing we are, letting people go, going to the high side, and that's kind of allowed us to run him down a little bit. And there goes Jeff in the 31. He had the field covered by this point. He just had to bring it on home. So that put us, I think, 6 laps down in the race. Coming up on around 10 laps to go. We'll go ahead and check where we're at. You see my best lap there is at 16.153. And I was able to pretty much hold that pace. I think I'd hit that same lap time about 3 or 4 times throughout the race. And now we're running 19.2s around the top of the track, so we're about 3 seconds off the pace at the top of the track. They're a little bit quicker there, 18.5. Still, I mean, that's 2 seconds off the leader pace. So a little bit of a awkward moment there as I tried to go around the 6 on the outside. I think he was letting people go. I was running my line way away from everyone. I think the 6 will actually come back by me here in a second. He was letting people go. I was letting people go. We were just doing it 2 different ways. So still about 15 laps to go. So the laps wore on. There was smaller and smaller chance that we could actually catch anyone. And the more I felt like I was just in the way, and I didn't want to affect the race later on. So run a few more laps here. Actually zoom out a little bit. You can see, yeah, right here, about 14 laps to go for me. I think it was 8 to go for them. I just pulled off and went into the pits. 31 goes on by me. And he'll go at a drawing distance, so we'll switch back to this camera for the remainder of it. You'll see cars pop in and out. But yep, that was pretty much my day. And that's pretty much the race. There's maybe one incident as we get towards the end of the race. I think it was actually on the last lap where somebody got into someone. I'm not really sure exactly what happened. We'll actually see if we can capture the checkered flag here. Somebody got into someone, I think on the last lap. The 6, he's down there on the apron, so that's not going to bring out a caution. He's well out of the racing groove, and he gets it back going. So See cars passing through. Here's the leader again. Just a few laps remaining here. We can actually fast forward until we get the yellow flag and the checker flag. And so there's the yellow. I think that's also the white flag. So there's the yellow flag and white flag together. And then the 31, I believe, will come around to take the checker flag here in just a moment. He had a pretty good lead. I want to say it was about a second or more over the next closest car. It was really hard to make up a whole bunch of time. So you see our man waving the checker flag like a maniac there. So that pretty much did it for me. It was a good race. I feel like I did fairly well throughout the early portions of the race. And then, obviously, it kind of went downhill from the pit stop. When I made my pit stop, it went all downhill from there. So, all in all, not too bad. I got to lead some laps. We'll take some positives away from it. Next dirt race at HOBO is pretty far away, several weeks, I think, until we run another dirt race. I think that's probably my best chance to actually win a race on merit. I got pretty lucky last week in the win at MNRL. It was a mixture of a big accident that took out some of the front runners and fuel strategy on my part. So just based on raw speed, I think dirt's probably my best chance to get a win based on, like I said, raw speed. I think that's pretty much all I got for this one. Let me know what you thought of the video. Like it, subscribe for more NR2003 grid, iRacing, sim racing kind of stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.